Hello, 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 everybody. We are back at it again. I'm your host, Axia, and this is GTMR, GT3 Championship Racing here Friday night as we're waiting for the timer to go down here in this free practice session before we jump over to qualifying session, ladies and gentlemen. So this is definitely going to be an interesting one to say the least. The teams are looking fast. The teams are looking racy. So this is definitely going to be an interesting one with this final season of this championship going. We're going to return to garage real quick and jump into drive here. This is my mistake. I messed up. I did not get this to shift over. We were busy doing all of our wonderful news for everybody here in this league as we get going here, ladies and gentlemen. As we get started here, we are actually on board with Carter Bennett, Casey Bennett, the 918 in the Rick and Morty designed beautiful Porsche here at the Nurburgring as we're watching a lot of these cars going out here and running. Ooh, and of course, those cones are no needed there. Deleted Fox in the chat. How are you doing, Deleted Fox? As we watch everybody work their way around the grid. This is definitely going to be an interesting. We have some newer drivers. Jared Adeo, he has joined us here. He will be racing. Huge shout out to Jared for joining GTMR here as we have a 20-minute session. We're working our way through, so the track is optimum 32 degrees Celsius. Casey Bennett will be starting us on a fast lap. You can see all these drivers coming through. We also have Derek Doppler. He has a qualifying ban, so he's going to have to sit out here in qualifying, which is going to be super horrible for him, but he has the pace. He's shown he is a top 4 driver here, but penalties are penalties here in this league. So let's take a look and see Casey Bennett coming through here. He's on the downhill section, working his way up to the final chicane. Deleted Fox, I'm good. I hope you are well. I am doing wonderful, Deleted Fox. I'm doing wonderful. We have the final season, and there's news to come. News that we will talk about here in this overall championship battle, as well as into the next season. So that is definitely going to be an interesting one, to say the least, because you guys are going to love the news that is coming for GTMR for Season 6. New things, different things, things that allow us to grow and become a very premier league for North America, for ACC, to say the least. But hey, don't worry, the amazing footage is not going to die down. We also have Xbox. Xbox will be running during our off week, so you guys will still be able to have something to see when the PC is not running. So here we have Casey Bennett looking super racy in the Porsche, hoping to have a good result with the BOP update change on the Porsche. The Porsche has been very skittish through the Schumacher S's. So as you can see, there is a massive group here. We've got, looks to be Casey Bennett, 936, which is Mr. Farmer right behind him, followed by Shuffler. So triple Porsches running through the grid. Then looks like we've got 301. 301 is going to be Mr. Randall. That's 4 Porsches. So right now, Porsche's leading out in the provisional poll time. Thank you for the follow, Shen Glow. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to GTMR Racing. If you'd like to join, check us out at thesimgrid.com. We'll definitely get you a Discord link. Welcome, DeSanti. Hopefully I said that right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here we are at Nurburgring, the final race of the season, and it is becoming very, very sparse, very, very spicy. Alex Arduin has been leading this championship series from day one, but Aiden Hasbrock has been chasing him down as we start to see Casey Bennett. Let's see what he can provisionally pull sit here as he's about to cross the line, and then we'll be jumping along board with Farmer. And Casey with a 154.8. Farmer's going to cross the line here. He's going to drop in. What does he do? He invalidates his lap. Let's see, Jaden Munoz coming through. Randall, 3/10 off the pace. Hasbrock, 3/10 off the pace of Casey Bennett. Hasselbrock, let's see, Fulte, 2/10 off the pace. Carter Bennett, 1.5 seconds off the pace. Munoz coming across the line. What does he set? He's 1.6 in the Audi, so he's going to be trying to reset his time. Jared, the new driver in this BMW, 1.1 seconds off the pace. LaRock, 2. Chestnut, 2.3. Lloyd, 1.7. So the drivers are just reeling in. Christopher Shuffler, looks like he did not set a time, and the times are coming in, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look, see who else. Josh Kimball, welcome to Josh Kimball, the owner of Apollo Racing Club. He is racing with us. He had a little bit of a back constraint doing snowboarding, so he is definitely joining us in here in this race. We're definitely super happy to have him here with us as well in the Lexus. As we see Matt Byrne right behind him in the Picasso McLaren, trying to chase everybody down. Wilson Fernandez, one of the faster drivers. He's sitting, I believe, P3 in the overall championship here as he's working his way around in this Mercedes-Benz. He still has yet to set a time. Judkins goes to P7 with a 1.3. James Parks, 4.4. Kevin Tarrant, 4.6. Brian Katz, 8.1. Possibly could have had not a good lap. Alan Zhu, 3.9. With Sean New, 4.1. So the grid is picking up in pace, and they are getting faster and faster as they go. Matt Byrne goes to P3. Tyler Farmer, P1, resets pole with a 54.130. We could see a 53. Randall, Casey Bennett, same lap times, 0.707. As we see Byrne, 0.003 of a second off the pace of them as well. So the grid is starting to form in Fulte, 0.3 off the pace of Farmer. Fulte chasing him down in that BMW as the grid starts getting faster. Jaschke, 0.9 up on his time in the BMW as he comes through, as he approaches the final chicane here at Nurburgring. Let's see what he can do. 0.9 would slot him up into right behind Hasbrock in the P8 slot, right there, right ahead of Jaden, as the grid starts working their way through here as he gets onto the main straight. What can he do? Crosses the line 0.002 of a second right behind Jared there. Let's take a look. Let's jump back down. Wilson Fernandez still 1.2. Crosses the line. P8, 0.8 back from Farmer as Farmer sets pole time. Andy Ollie's looking super racy. Let's see what Andy Ollie can do as he comes around here in the all-white McLaren. He's definitely switching his colors up here at the Nurburgring, trying to look super racy here. Take a look. Josh Kimball still has yet to set a time. He's done 3 laps so far. So that's definitely going to be an interesting one. The grid is crowded. People still have yet to set a time here. Ooh, 124 on the track. Now he's jumped back into the pits. We can see a lot of the drivers now starting to come back out of the pits as they work their way through. We're going to stay along board Andy Ollie to see if he can get a time in. He's 0.2 off of his time, but he could get a fast lap. Ooh, catching a lot of dirt on that Schumacher S as he comes through. Super late braking here. Hooks the bend, runs a little bit of curb. Doesn't really run it out as wide as you think he would around that bend, but it's okay. Nice run. Nice smooth run out of that final chicane. Here comes up to the final corner around the bend. See what he can do. Can he set a good time to put him up there into that top 15 where he's usually sitting in qualifying? And does not look like he set a time. It would have been a 57.3. So a 57.3 would have put him in P18. So let's see what our big movers up in the front of the grid is. Let's take a look. Looks like we have Andre Lloyd, 0.2 on the downhill section coming up to the hairpin. He's going to have LaRock right in front of him. That 0.3, if he can hold it through the final lap, he would set a faster lap. Let's take a look. Andy Ollie, P23. Mr. Corey Freeman pulling off the track, trying to not get into the way of anybody as he's working his way around the grid. Freeman trying to figure something out with Jake Johnson in front of him as well. Both of those drivers trying to set a lap. Shuffler is still sitting in the pits. Hopkins is still sitting in the pit. Shuffler now coming out. Andy Ollie still needing to do something here to set a lap. We see, let's jump along board here. Judkins, he's in the sector 1 area, coming through towards the end of sector 1 into sector 2. He is 3/10 on his time so far with Andrew Jaschke ahead of him in P11. They're both setting a roughly the same pace, about 3/10 ahead. But this will bring Judkins a little bit closer to Andrew Jaschke for that fight, as Farmer now hits a 53.915 at the Nurburgring, ladies and gentlemen. But the question is, can his Porsche hold on to it the whole entire race, all of 60 minutes? That's the question that everybody wants to know. You know, you can be fast in a single lap, but can you hold that for 60 minutes throughout the whole entire race? Now, in this battle, ladies and gentlemen, for those that do not know, with the fact that we have 9 minutes left to qualify, at the start of this race, Arduin is 24 points ahead of Aiden Hasbrock. Aiden has to get past Arduin, finish first, and Arduin has to crash out for Aiden to win the championship with 1 point. Unless Arduin gets fast lap and finishes P15, they will tie at the end of the championship, and it'll be a tie duo. That will definitely be an interesting one, but right now, Farmer, Fulte, Casey Bennett, Randall, Byrne, Munoz, Fernandez, they want to make sure that nobody gets in the way. So let's take a look here. Jake Johnson, 5/10 up on his time. Last lap, he did a 2:01.6. 5/10 could see him try to get a little bit closer to Katz. He's working all the magic he can right now in that massive pink BMW to let everybody know that, hey, I'm right here, don't hit me. As he works his way down the hill here. Definitely huge shout out to all of our viewers, the viewers that have been watching us all season long. Definitely amazing to have you guys here and have you guys partake and be a part of this wonderful community. It's truly an honor to have you guys here. But can Jake Johnson, question is let's take a look. Let's see where Bruce Hopkins is on the track real quick as Jake Johnson works his way through. Bruce is coming through. He's through turn 1. He's going to have Munoz right behind him. Now, Bruce is on a fast lap. He does not have to concede anything, but Jaden is going to try to send it here. Let's take a look. Where's Shuffler? Shuffler coming through the hairpin. Mr. Corey Freeman has yet to set a lap, but he's coming through on this back end. So this could be the lap that sets him on the timing board. Let's see what Freeman has in this Audi as he's working his way through the track. As we see Farmers possibly slowing it up. Oh, he's going to return to the pit because right now he is sitting at the top of the grid here with a 53.9. So here he comes through Freeman, final corner, around the bend, onto the main straight. Judkins right behind him. Does he? He slots himself P19. 3.55, 4/10 off of Chestnut in that. Ooh, Jake Johnson losing it hard on the back end there. Jake Johnson managing to reel in Brian Katz by 4/10. So an amazing job there. Shuffler about to cross the line. Looks like he invalidated his lap, so he's going to have to take another round. As we see Bruce Hopkins and Jaden Munoz. Jaden Munoz is going to try to make it difficult here. Hopkins coming up to the final chicane here. Ooh, catches the curb, manages to save it. Hopefully Hopkins can keep it together. 6 minutes left. Shuffler still has yet to set a time. A little bit of a wiggle out of Hopkins. Oh, P20, 2/10 off of Freeman, 3/10 ahead of Alan Zoom. So it's going to slot him into P20 there, everybody, as they work their way through here. Let's take a look. Any big movers up in the front? Fulte, 3/10 coming down the hill here into the hairpin. Now, 3/10 won't give him provisional pull, but if he can kind of build that in and burn Burton taking the P3 spot, leapfrogging Fernandez by a thousandth of a second. Wow, this is really developing, everybody. This is really growing. Full T around the corner here. Let's see what he can do as he works his magic. It's showing 4 tenths. He needs 2 more tenths, everybody. 2 more tenths in this sector 3 as he works his way down the hill. Ooh, looks like he lost it there a little bit. Can he find it in the final chicane? He's going to brake late and have to send it. See the pop-up in the car. Does not look like he's going to get it. Judkins moving up. Some drivers falling down. Full T does not improve. He only did a 54.565, so he actually went slower that round. He was on pace to do a faster time. Let's take a look. Jaden Munoz, the Audi driver, he is up a tenth on his time, working his way down the hill. So a tenth here could leapfrog him into the P2, but his delta kind of went away here, so definitely keep an eye on that as he works his way through. He gained it back through the final chicane. Can he get through the final corner? It's going to be the interesting one. Running it super wide. Does not improve. Christopher Shuffler, 2 tenths on his time as he's working his way through Sector 1, coming into Sector 2 here on the downhill up to the hairpin. The Porsche driver was looking super racy during the practice session, definitely gaining some time, growing some pace here. But we'll definitely have to see if he's able to hold it in, but that's definitely going to be an interesting one. As we see Shuffler coming through. Man, a lot of these drivers are all up on their times until they get to that left-hander, this left and right-hander. Thank you for the follow, Chocolate Slayer. Thank you for the follow. I hope you are doing well. I hope your weekend is doing well. Wherever you're at, if you're in the U.S., I hope your night is going well, or day. If you're in another country, I hope you are doing well. Welcome to the stream. As we see Christopher Shuffler just say, yeah, nope, not today. Alex Arduin, our championship leader in the black GTMR Porsche, working his magic, 2 tenths up as he is flying beautifully through here the bends. And he's tried everything he can. He needs to separate himself away from Aiden Hasbrock to hopefully lock this championship series up, because here the Porsches have not been doing good. We have 2 minutes all left in the overall qualifying session, and it is just developing as a big mover here. And this is going to be an interesting one to say the least here in this championship fight. Let's take a look here. We'll definitely get you guys all an invite link into the Discord if you guys would all like to join us into the Discord and be a part of the series here, as we'll post that up there. Chocolate Slayers Taco Man sent me over. Thank you. Welcome. Taco Man is a huge friend of ours, a huge friend of mine as well. So definitely a great honor to have you here, and welcome. For those that do not know who Taco Man is, on track, that's it, Mr. Andy Ollie in the McLaren P17, 2.8 off the pace of provisional pole time set by Mr. Farmer himself. But Andy Ollie could make some big improvements, and Alex Arduin slots himself 3 tenths ahead, leapfrogging Jaden Munoz now. So the fight for Farmer is now developing. Full T still 2 tenths off through the final chicane with Carter Bennett. Catches a lot of that curve, but he kind of keeps it. Chocolate says, I'm from Napa here in Cali. Wow. Awesome to hear that. I hope the weather is doing well. I'm hoping you're doing well. I heard there was some floods out in California, so I hope you're doing very well, good sir. Full T 0.48 off 2 thousandths off the pace. Hop Motorsports, welcome to the stream. It's a wonderful to have you here. Welcome. to the stream. This is our final race at GTMR for the season 5. We are just growing and developing and becoming an amazing league. I mean, honestly, the community is wonderful. We have 17 seconds left, and I am losing track of everything. The only person who is on a faster life lap right now is Mr. Andrew Jaschke. For those in the El Taco stream, this is BRL Phantom, soon to be GTMR Phantom, as he is flying here and catches the S. That BMW getting a little wiggly, losing a little bit of time. He's sitting in the top 10. He's trying to touch the realm of the top 9. We have 4 Porsches in the top 10, ladies and gentlemen. 5 if you include the top 15, 6 if you include the top 20. So everybody is getting faster and quicker here as the closing hours of qualifying. As we see a lot of the drivers saying, nope, I'm not going to set a time now in here. This is just developing beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So it says in the chat, doing good weather is great. That is wonderful. It is currently snowing here in Wisconsin, and that is where I'm at. So I guess it's a huge trade-off. You get beautiful weather, I get snow. As we see, Jaschke's going to call it a day. Jared Adeo, he is looking up a 10th on this all-black BMW through the track here. We'll definitely have to see if he can keep improving on his time, because right now Farmer is not improving his time. Fulte is in the pits. Jado losing. He's lost a 10th. Andre Lloyd is sitting into that under 10th chestnut here. 3/10 as he is about to cross the line. How much is this going to jump him? Up to P19. Skips over Shuffler. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Qualifying is over with. And that is it. Your pole sitter, Mr. Farmer in P1, Art doing P2, Jaden Munoz P3, full T4. So this is definitely an amazing. It's going to be a spicy race, guys. Spicy race. 28 drivers here at the Nurburgring GP circuit. The best drivers here at GTMR as we see the drivers, as everything is working its way down the grid here. We're going to do, of course, what we always do. We are going to do the grid walk, and we are going to definitely take a look and see how everybody is down the track. So we're going to switch over to Farmer's car. We're going to squeeze right out of this as we always do and work our way down the grid. So here you are, ladies and gentlemen, the grid for season 5, the final race of this season at the Nurburgring. Here are your drivers. Taylor Farmer in the beautiful all-black Porsche sitting in pole position. Alex Arduin in the all-black GTMR Porsche, followed by Jaden Munoz in the Audi. Looking super racy. We'll definitely have to be able to see what he can do next season. Then we have Fulte coming in here in the BMW in that blue and pink car, followed by the Picasso McLaren of Matthew Byrne, with Wilson Fernandez in the all-purple Mercedes-Benz, with Aiden Hasbrock in the P7 in that Bentley. The only Bentley. We may be seeing him in a different car next season. So if we could see him in a different car next season, that will be an interesting one. Casey Bennett in the Rick and Morty Porsche, followed by Michael Randall in the Amtrak Porsche. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on him as well. Andrew Jaschke in the BMW Motorsports BMW, followed by Jared, the new driver, the number 1 BMW in P11, Judkins P12, La Rock, or aka La Croix, in P13, Andrew Lloyd in the Pac-Man Porsche, bringing it into P14. Carter Bennett, the younger version of Casey Bennett, bringing it into P15. Josh Kimball's 16, Andy Ollie, aka Mr. El Taco Man here in P17. Bruce Hopkins in the Aston Martin, bringing it into P18, aka Mr. Panda, Trash Panda, the chestnut himself, P19, as well as Shuffler P20. Mr. Freeman bringing it into 21. Alan Zoo 22. Kevin Tarrant 23. And then we have, I'm trying to remember who was it. Oh, Sean New into P24. And then we have, looks to be James Parks P25. We're going to have Katz P26. Ooh, as we're bouncing up and down, 26. And then we're going to have the purple of Jake Johnson and Doppler all the way in the back of the grid in his qualifying band. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on him as the grid is moving down. We're definitely going to do a quick flyer through the grid and get back up to the top of it as the grid starts flowing through. And looks like we had Alex Arduin jump into the chat. Looked like the server pings were jumping up a little bit and bouncing around, but now everything has settled down, ladies and gentlemen, and we see Farmer rolling the grid out in the formation lap. Bailey says, "Raw." Welcome to the chat, Bailey. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the chat as everybody works their way through the grid. Now let's talk about next season, everybody. You guys wanted to know, ooh, it's looking a little dark out here. It's 5 p.m. with a ×2 multiplier in the chat. So this race is going to end around 7 p.m. in game time. So we may be seeing some night racing, which is going to throw a lot of drivers off because now we're seeing flashlight headlights and everything. So to fill everybody in, the viewers that are joining us that was not here during the early part of the race during free practice and that for GTMR, big things are coming to season 6. Big things are coming to season 6. We are going to have 2 endurance events, ladies and gentlemen. The first week of March, we will be holding a 4-hour endurance event at Watkins Glen GT4 Enduro. And then 2 weeks later, we will be jumping into our season 6. And at the end of the season, in 2 weeks after that, we will be holding our GT3 endurance event at Spa. So it is looking super racy, super fun, such a blast. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. I'll definitely be streaming and showcasing all those races for everybody as we grow and get bigger. And it is just getting ever so much more amazing here with everybody. Also, we will be coming out with GTMR merch, so that's definitely going to be an awesome thing. So you'll be able to, if you're a fan or a viewer, or you race in the league and want to rock a hat, you can rock a hat. Tuesday nights also, we will be pulling out a GT4 series. So you guys will definitely be seeing a GT4 series. Bailey says in the chat, "I'm going to cry. I lost all controls and have to reset my PC pain." Oh, what a shame there, Mr. Bailey. Hopefully you can get everything back and going in this race and get and be able to oh, is that Mr. Jared? I think that is Jared. That is Bailey, the new driver here. Hopefully you can get everything fixed and get going here and get back in. Shouldn't take that long, but hopefully you can get everything fixed as we start to see the drivers work their way around the grid. Again, I just want to give a huge shout out to all the viewers, everybody watching. It is truly an honor to have you guys here and be a part of the league with us as you're watching. Even though you may not be racing with us, we'd love to have you racing. So if you'd like to join, please check out the Discord link that will be provided. And here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The grid is lined up. The drivers are working their way around the track. We are getting ready to go. It is the calm before the storm. Farmer trying to get his brakes warm enough for turn 1. This is going to be spicy, ladies and gentlemen. Here they come. Green, 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 and we are off. LaRock with a drive through the 2 Porsches, trying to pull themselves away. Full T. Munoz trying to capitalize on the Porsche's loss of grip here. Down into turn 1. Here we go. Ooh, Full T covering the inside. Munoz outside. Here they go, side by side. Farmer now separate himself. Munoz trying to make everything happen. Arduin going super wide here on the back end of the corner here. Munoz getting swamped. Looks like we have a big little bit of a grouping here. Down on the inside, Full T sends it. Burn now on the outside. Full T going on the inside. Munoz now getting swallowed up. He's falling back the grid. Fernandez trying to chase him down. Arduin separate himself. Full T, Bird, side by side. Bird's going to try to send it on the inside. Full T covers. Munoz, now Aiden Hasbrock getting attacked by Wilson Fernandez in the back of the grid. Aiden now covering the inside, working his way down to Munoz. Munoz is just falling down the grid versus starting P3 here. As we see the drivers, Aiden, now he's going to have the inside look, giving a little bit of pressure, showing Munoz the door a little bit. Munoz having to recover himself. Now here comes Fernandez on the inside of Aiden. Here they come up to the Schumacher S's. Who's going to back out of it? Wilson Fernandez is going to have to check up on the inside. The Bentley is looking super racy. Munoz is trying to take a look. Randall looking super racy as they work their way through the grid. Down in the background, you can see Munoz trying on the outside. Now inside on Wilson Fernandez. Gives him the little bit of the door, but leaves enough space as they work their way around the grid here and they work their way down. This is looking super racy, everybody, as we see the drivers now separating themselves from the grid. Byrne, Fulte on Alex Arduin. We also have Munoz, Wilson Fernandez, Randall, Casey, Judkins, Jaschke, Crow. Crow having to have a drive-through. Munoz going super wide, loses the back end. He catches it, recovers as he comes through the final corner onto the main straight. Wilson Fernandez still trying to make something happen here. Crow's going to serve his drive-through and get it done and over with the 64 car. Loses it on the back end of the chicane here. That is going to be Andy Ali. Hopefully he was able to save himself through going through here. Munoz sends it up on the inside. Wilson Fernandez loses it on the braking. So that's going to allow Randall through. Casey Bennett now all over the back end of the Brazilian driver of Wilson Fernandez as they come through here into the stadium section here at the Nurburgring as they flow their way through the chat here. You see Bailey says there's no point right now. I'm already a lap down. You could possibly recover your lap by just racing in general, but hey, it's sad to hear, but hey, there's always next season, Bailey, for you to race with us. As we see the drivers work their way down the grid here. Casey Bennett still trying to make something happen. We're going to jump down the grid a little bit. Andre Lloyd with Doppler. Doppler moving up to P13 in the start of the race here. He had to start in the back as the grid's starting to separate themselves. Mr. Kevin Tarrant from New Zealand up into P18. He's going to have Freeman right behind him. There's Katz there into P20. Carter Bennett. Looks like Josh Kimball all the way back there in P25 as they work their way through. Jake Johnson, 25. Andy Ali just needing to recover his race. We know he's fast. We know he's quick. Anything is possible as we jump back up here. We have Alex Arduin with Fulte. Fulte gets a beautiful run on the final chicane. Alex Arduin losing it. Arduin is falling down in the championship standings. Byrne looking now on Arduin. He's in the hunt for Arduin. Hasselbrock P5, 1.2 off the pace of Byrne. So he could catch him down and chase him. You can see the Bentley in the background in this championship fight. Arduin trying everything he can to separate himself. He wants to win the championship standing. He knows 24 points as long as he finishes in the top 15. And Hasselbrock does not win the race. He locks the championship overall. But hey, anything is possible here in the Nuremberg race. The battle is insinuating now. We see Michael Randall, Jaden Munoz, and Wilson Fernandez right behind them. The developing battle is growing. During Wednesday's practice race, Matt Byrne had a dominant performance in the McLaren. Can he reset that up with qualifying? Can he re-put it in together? As we see, looks like the 978 of Josh Kimball is losing it just a little bit as they work their way through the grid. He's trying to recover what he can in this race. As we see Arduin, he's still looking very comfortable here in this championship fight here, but Byrne is all over him. He's putting pressure. This Porsche is a lot squirrelier than what he would like to be here in this race. As they make the bend around the corners here, let's take a look at Randall, Munoz. Munoz now separating himself from Randall. Now Wilson on the back end of Randall. Casey Bennett is a little bit of a separation. Is the same thing going to happen to Arduin here with Byrne? Arduin through the final chicane. Manages to get it a little bit of a better run through that chicane there. Doesn't lose it, but Byrne's still all over the back end of him. Is he going to get the big fat toe on the back straight? The Porsche with its slow straight line speed does not look like Byrne is going to get a run on are doing on the back straight here. Down into turn 1. Does Byrne try to do a switchback send? It does not, but there comes Aiden. Aiden is managing to claw as much as he possibly can. We're going to work our way back down the grid, ladies and gentlemen, and take a look. Doppler on the back end of Jashki trying to work his way through Chestnut. We've got Bruce Hopkins. What's another close battle here? Let's take a look. Freeman, Kevin Tarrant. Freeman now being attacked by Carter Bennett. Carter Bennett reeling him in as much as possible as well. Let's take a look also. See Shaw New reaching the back end of Brian Katz, trying to make it happen, even back here in the back of the grid. Also, we have Josh Kimball and LaRock here as Josh Kimball's trying to get that Lexus to work with the Mercedes in front of him. We're going to slide our way back up front here and take a look as well. This race is not far from over. Farmer has separated himself to 2.2 seconds. The track is getting colder here in the late nights as everybody is starting to pick up the pace. So with that, your temps are going to drop. With temps dropping, your pace is going to drop in a sense. Well, technically it can get faster and drop at the same time, but everything is getting more spicier, and we're not even halfway, everybody. We're only 52 minutes in. This is getting amazing. And let's take a look down the grid here. Let's take a look at before as they come through the chicane. Does Arduin save it? A little bit of a bump, but he manages to save it. Fulte going wide. You can see the dirt pickup burn now on the back end of. You can jump back down here. Wilson Fernandez goes super wide. Oh, that's going to allow Casey Bennett to catch up to him. Ooh, this is getting even better, everybody. But, oh, Doppler on the inside of Jashki. Jashki side by side as they work their way down the main straight. Here comes the drag race into turn 1. Can the Porsche of Doppler outbrake Jashki? Jashki's going to go for the wide line. Doppler's going to check up on the inside. Maybe possibly try the switchback with Jashki going super wide, and it doesn't work. Now he's going to try the switchback here into turn 2. Tries to take the inside line, utilizing a lot of the curves. Doppler sends it up on the inside. Jashki leaves enough door for him to take a peek. Here they come through turn 5. Bailey says, God, this would have been fun. It is a blast, Bailey, but don't worry. The season is not over because in about a month, another season will start. Technically, the season is over, but you get what I'm saying, buddy. As Doppler now trying to chase down the back end of Jashki. Jashki loses it a little bit, catches some dirt. Here comes Doppler down on the inside. Can he hold it into the hairpin, or is Jashki going to close the door off? Jashki closes the door off, under braking. The Porsche of Doppler trying to make it work here. Fulte now reeling in Farmer. 1.8 from P1 to 2. Arduin 1.3 off of 2 with Byrne. Doppler taking a look. Switchback in and out. Trying to make something happen. You can see Lloyd in the back there with Christopher Shuffler. The three-way Porsche battle in 12, 13, and 14th is growing. Can Doppler make it? Welcome. Thank you for the follow on YouTube, Felix Palant. It is an honor to have you here. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for watching and joining us here at GTMR. It is truly an honor to have you here as we keep along. This is the final race of the Season 4, Season 5 at the Nurburgring Grand Prix. Doppler had a qualifying ban. He is up to P12 here with 50 minutes left to go, and the pit window will now be open. Now? Yes! Hey, I timed it right, everybody. As Doppler is still trying to make his work. We have 28 drivers, technically 27, but everybody is battling for a position here. It is not giving way. You can see this massive fight for 9, 10, 11, and 12th is in a massive battle between Casey Bennett, Christian Judkins, Andrew Jashki on the outside looking in, but if they make a mistake, Jashki could capitalize here in this race for a top 10 finish. Doppler still taking a look and trying to make it stick as they work their way through. Bailey says in the chat, I probably won't be able to race by then. Bailey, just give up on F1. Come race ACC. It's the only thing that matters. And we see as Judkins is getting a little bit of a separation. Andrew Jashki reeling him in now with Doppler in the back. This is for 10th, 11th, and 12th, everybody. As they come through, Shuffler now on the back end of Andre Lloyd. We're possibly going to switch over there real quick because he's about right at the door. Porsche on Porsche action here. Here they come through up to the fast right-hander in the hard braking zone. Shuffler trying to recenter himself. He is in the white GTMR. Arduin is in the black GTMR. As we see this battle develop, he is taking a look on the inside, switches back here. Here they come through. Shuffler, is he going to try to outbrake him? He doesn't. Super late on the brakes. These Porsches can outbrake almost any car on the track. Shuffler catching a lot of the curbs. Lloyd looking super defensive here in this battle. Here they go, side by side. Can we see it? Also the battle for 15th, the final point in the race. Chestnut, Hopkins. Shuffler looks, he goes super wide, tries to switch back, tries the outside in. Ooh, catches a little too much in. Ooh, Hopkins, is he going to get it on Chestnut? Chestnut, ooh, the back end gets a little squirrely on the back. Kevin Tarrance dives into the pits. He's going to be the first driver to take the pit rotation. Very interesting. Never seen a driver take this early of a pit stop. Ooh, number 59 dives back into the pits. That's going to be 595. That is... Or is that number 14? Kevin Tarrance is in the pits. He's serving, it looks like he's serving a pit. Ooh, Chestnut dives in the pits. Looks like he lost it a little bit. Bruce Hopkins does not look like he has a whole lot of damage. I wonder what happened to Chestnut. Oh, interesting. Sad to hear about that. Now we're going to just jump along board here. Fulte, 1.5 behind Farmer. He is reeling him in as the race is developing. Arduin, 1.5 off of Fulte into P3. Matt Byrne, 8/10 off the pace of Arduin here at the Nurburgring. Number 14, looks like Kevin Tarrance served his pit and is going through here. Ooh, I'm curious what happened to Chestnut here in this race. It would have been a shame if it was something internet related as we see the drivers working their way through the grid here. Let's take a look here as we watch these drivers work their magic here, and let's take a look at all the way down at the bottom. Looks like Doppler got past Jaschke, so now Doppler is on the back end of Judkins. Doppler during the free practice session, even though he wasn't able to qualify, was sitting lap times faster than some of the guys in the top 5. So this is definitely going to be an interesting one, to say the least. As Doppler looks on the inside, sends it on Judkins. Judkins is going to come back. Now Judkins is going to have the inside. Does he try to shut the door? Doppler leaves enough space, but because Judkins loses it a little bit, this is going to allow Andrew Jaschke now in the fight here. Ooh, and the develop between Randall and Shuffler. Looks like Randall lost a little bit here in this race. We're going to jump back there. Oh, Jaschke gets Randall. Now Shuffler. Okay, so now we're going to have Shuffler, Lloyd, and Randall in this battle. And it's just changing up here, everybody. Just changing up. Everything is... Drivers are starting to group in. The battles are starting to get closer and closer. Now we're going to have a three-way Porsche battle. Randall taking a look on the inside, having to switch back. Curbs and curbs for the Porsches as they go through the Schumacher S's. Shuffler going super wide, having to lose it, allowing Randall through. For those that are interested, Mr. Andy Ollie, El Taco Man, is up to P19. He is definitely regaining his pace and reworking his way up the grid. And we see Corey Freeman with Carter Bennett in the background, now chasing down Alan Zhu in that other Porsche here, the Euro Yeet Porsche. Ember in the chat. We haven't seen Ember in a long time. Farmer's #1 fan. Hello, Mr. Ember. I hope all is well with you. And just take a look. We see Josh Kimball and looks to be Josh Kimball Mr. And LaCroix working their way through, and Brian Katz all the way in the background there. Sean New dives into the pits. He's going to serve his pit rotation strategy. Ooh, Josh Kimball losing the curb in there. Bouncing around. Let's take a look. Matt Byrne now putting the pressure on Alex Arduin. He is now up to 3/10. Full T has brought in the gap down to 1.3, now 1.4. So everything's trying to steady themselves in as they work their way through the grid onto the uphill section of this track here. As we see now, Aiden Hasbrock getting attacked by Jaden Munoz in the background. The silver Audi trying to make something happen on the only Bentley driver here in this race, everybody. So it is just growing. The pace is picking up. The drivers are now finding their groups that they race in. So this is going to be a very interesting one in the development here. Question is, we saw two of the drivers in the back of the pack pit early, super early. Question is what about the other drivers? Are they going to go halfway? Are they going to go super deep late? Are they going to go early? Is Jaden going to listen to Bailey's strategy? Last week at Zandvoort, Jaden took Bailey's strategy and kind of got screwed over a little bit. His tires burned up, and he was getting attacked by everybody who pitted late. So the question is the strategy going to be the same, or are they going to go for the long strat here in this race here? So we take a look. Byrne taking a look on Alex Arduin. Byrne wants to get ahead of Alex Arduin in hopes to move up in the championship standings and end the season with a good result. Let's take a look here. What other battles do we have for everybody? Doppler on the back end of Casey Bennett down into turn one. Casey covering the inside. This is green on green Porsches. As we see Doppler, he's going to try to possibly send it up on the inside in the left hand. He squeezes his nose. Casey's going to still have the inside. But is Doppler going to get a run? Casey sends it up. Side by side, they work their way through the... Ooh, Casey Bennett gets swallowed up by Doppler. But Doppler is on a freight train of a race here so far as they work their way through. Andrew Jaschke now on the back end of Casey Bennett as they work their way on the downhill section. Let's take a look. What other battles? Do we have any other close battles? Let's take a look. Freeman on Alan Zhu. Possibly. Ooh, Alan Zhu lost out. He's going to fall behind. That's going to allow Andy Ollie to catch up to Alan Zhu here. So Alan Zhu was P16. Now he's going to be P19 in this battle here. As the 88 Wilson Fernandez is at damage. That is massive damage, everybody. The hood is open in the Mercedes. Thankfully the pit window is open. Wilson Fernandez is going to have to try to recover as much as he's possibly going to. Fulte now 2 seconds. This is what we were all talking about at the start of the race during free practice. How much is the Schumacher S going to affect everybody? Wilson Fernandez is going to allow Andrew Jaschke through. What a beautiful driver Wilson Fernandez is. The Brazilian driver, he knows, hey, look, I got damage. I'm going to let you by. I'm not going to try to hold you up, but I'm still going to keep pace up. As Wilson Fernandez in the pits. Doppler is in the pits. So now we're starting to see some of the front runners dive into the pits. So Doppler is definitely going for a different strategy. He's pitting early, trying to throw in a little bit of people off guard. Chestnut is, he has lost based on connection. Shame there. Let's take a look. Shuffler now all over the back end of Andre Lloyd. Casey Bennett's into the pits. An early pit stop for him. We're only 40 minutes in. So let's keep an eye on that. So we are seeing some of the front runners dive into the pits. The question is, who on the further end of the pit window is going to dive into the pits? Let's take a look. Battles in the back of the pack. Battles in the back of the pack. Ooh, Josh Kimball and LaRock. Let's take a look. Where's LaRock and Josh Kimball? Josh Kimball trying to make it happen, and around the outside, Lexus Merc. The Lexus is haunting this Merc as they come through here down into the stadium section as they make their way around the bends. Oh, poor Panda. Oh man, he says in the chat for those for the Chestnut driver. Well, that was a bummer. VR redraws and bouncing all over the place at the start. Hope it cleared up, but it wouldn't. Damn near impossible to see braking points in other cars blipping all over the place. I'm sorry to hear that, Panda. Sorry to hear that, sir. I hope, of course, next season anything is possible. So hopefully we can see you back next season. Well, I hope to see you back next season. You're going to be an admin for us as this race is developing and growing. Kimball on the back end of LaCroix working through. Munoz is in the pits, so that is going to be one of our first front drivers. He is diving into the pits. Now the question is this going to be Zandvoort all over again? Is his tires going to be shot? Because right now, Wilson Fernandez has already pitted. Casey Bennett's already pitted. Kevin Torrance has already pitted. Sean News pitted. Doppler's already pitted. So can his tires hold up with the faster traffic? Because if he comes out behind Doppler or Fernandez, this is going to be a really hard one because they've already pitted. So he's going to have to try to make something happen here in this race. As we see the beautiful Lexus of Josh Kimball trying to chase down LaCroix, a.k.a. LaRock, in this race overall. As we see Wilson Fernandez comes out, he is going to be 2/10 behind Casey Bennett. So very, very interesting. And here's your leader, Taylor Farmer. He has already caught up these back markers who have already pitted. Well, not really. They've pitted. They're not full back markers, but yes, in a way, yes, they are. And they have caught into him. So the question is Farmer's going to have to work his magic through the grid and get past these guys as he approaches. We're going to see Arduin and Byrne. Byrne still on the back end of Arduin has managed to reel in Fulte. We still have 37 minutes, and it is just getting spicy, everybody. It really is, as everybody's working their way through the grid. Trash Panda says, I'll be back next season for sure. Possible GPU and VR headset upgrade in the future. You know what you need to do, Panda? You just need to do triples, buddies. Just do triples. Farmer on the inside of Wilson Fernandez to separate himself. Byrne. Now, the traffic is coming up, and these four drivers are looking super racy, are doing 1.1 off the pace of Fulte, with Byrne on the back door looking in. Will the traffic be able to slow Arduin up enough to allow Byrne through to get the capitalize and the attack on him as well? With the pit rotation, so Jaden Munoz comes out right behind Josh Kimball, 6.6 seconds from Kimball. I don't know. I just, with Panda, I'm going to ask the chat this. What would be your strategy for this race? Would you want to try to go later or want to try to pit earlier? Because right now, I don't think pitting early is going to be very helpful here in this race. I really don't. I think you got to stick with the long go strategy here or pit in the middle. You know what I mean? I just don't think it's very helpful for them. As we see, we have a yellow, number 44, Christopher Shuffler, losing it a little bit. Ooh, on that downhill, the back end probably stepped out on him here in this race. It's going to allow Bruce Hopkins through, but he's managed. He's having a wonderful race. He's P11 right now. He's looking super racy. Just needs to calm down, breathe, zen moment. Brian Katz dives into the pits. Who are doing in the pits? One of the front runners. He is doing the early pit strategy here at the 35-minute mark. Ooh, this is looking interesting, everybody. So, who is going to follow suit here? Man, this is looking. I'm curious by this here as we see Carter Bennett. He is a pass Corey Freeman as they work their way through. Corey Freeman, one of the newer drivers here at GTMR. He's looking super clean, super racy, sitting there in P13. Of course, we got to see as everybody is in their pit rotation. Andy Ollie in the endurance mode, the just hold through and push through mode here in this race. He's looking up there in the P14 as they go through. Josh Kimball still looking super racy right behind LaRock. Let's take a look. Any other close battles? See, usually this happens for the viewers, some of the viewers that are new that have not seen me announce and stream. Usually we run into an issue where, ooh, Shuffler is in the pits. Let's see, does Shuffler have damage though? Does not look like he had damage, but he's in the pits. Arduin is out. Arduin is going to be coming out right around Kimball and LaCroix. Technically his name's LaRock, but I kept saying LaCroix because he's Canadian and I thought it had like a French theme to it. So we stuck with it, everybody. It's not because I'm unintelligent, I don't know how to say people's last names. It's because I have a reading disability, and we're going to just roll with that one. As we see the drivers work their way through Arduin coming out, he's going to be sitting P10 right now. So he's definitely, no, wait, sorry, he's going to be down in the P15 spot, so he's going to have to try to work his magic here. Shuffler in a very long pit. He must have fixed damage. He must have. I'm going, he must have fixed damage there in this race. So let's take a look. Full T, 1.7. Catching Casey, excuse me. I apologize for the yawn. Full T around the outside of Casey Bennett. Wilson Fernandez trying to make something happen on the back end of Casey Bennett. Here, these drivers pitted early for the pit rotation. Matt Byrne looking on the inside out, but he knows this is a battle for position. This is not helping Byrne to try to catch Full T here in this race. But this is developing very well. These drivers are being super respectful with the track limits. Wilson Fernandez with the super late break. Catches the back end of Casey. Ooh! Sends it up on the inside. Backs out of it. Waits for Casey Bennett. Ooh. That is definitely... Ooh, that was a little bit tricky there. Definitely an outside looking in perspective. Ooh, this is definitely Andy Ollie in the pits. The drivers are trying to make something happen, make something stick. Hopefully that wasn't a lot of damage on Casey's car as Casey works his way through the grid with Wilson Fernandez, now Matt Burns. So now Casey Bennett can check up, follow Matt Burns' line, and hopefully pull away from Wilson Fernandez and get a little bit of a separation. Wilson Fernandez trying to probably reset his brain here real quick, not trying to go too hardcore. Let's take a look at the further grid up the order here. Michael Randall on Andre Lloyd. These two drivers trying to go for possibly the long strategy as we hit the halfway marker. We're about a minute away from the halfway marker here in this race. These guys, Andy Olive just coming down. Where's he going to shuffle in? By Shuffler? That would have been hilarious to say. Ooh, Andy Ollie disappears. What happened to Andy Ollie? Oh, he's still there. Disqualified? What happened to Andy Ollie? That's definitely going to be an interesting one. Was he speeding in the pit lane and then hit the pit limiter? Oh, Josh Kimball. Josh Kimball catches the dirt. He's going to see the dirt very well. He's going to see Doppler catch up to him. What happened to Andy Ollie? That is definitely going to be the big one. Bruce Hopkins is in the pits. Did Andy Ollie speed too fast? Lloyd Hopkins in the pits. Halfway mark. That is going to be an interesting one. Ooh. I have no idea what happened there. But we're going to have LaRock on the back end of Alan Zhu here in this fight. Porsche, Mercedes with Jaden Munoz behind them. This battle is growing here. Here they go down into turn one. The Mercedes driver sends it up on the inside. Zhu's going to try the outside. Jaden Munoz is going to try to get a little bit racy here and send it up on the inside. Alan Zhu's going to allow Munoz through. Now can Alan Zhu let Munoz do his work to get LaCroix? Oh, I know. What happens, Chocolate? What happened with the disqualification? We saw him dive into the pits like he was going to serve the pit. My only thing right now, Chocolate, is possibly that he dove into the pits, was speeding in the pit lane, like didn't hit the button fast enough, then when he came out of the pit box, that he may have accidentally shifted up into second gear and hit the throttle. Because what happens is if you go to second gear and you hit the throttle, it will trigger that you've double sped in the pit lane, so then it will disqualify you. It's the only thing I can think of. Oh, what a shame. Oh, what a shame to Taco here in this race. Oh, man, what a shame to him. He was looking super racy. He was looking for at least possibly in the top 20 here in this race, even though he had a little bit of an incident at the start. But we're going to keep track. Munoz now around the outside on the downhill of the hairpin. So hopefully... Oh, sorry, downhill into the final chicane. That Alan Zhu. Okay, so now we have Fulte in the pits, Hasselbrock in the pits, Randall in the pits, Farmer staying out, Byrne 2.2 seconds off the pace of Farmer. Curious how late is Farmer going to keep out there? As we see Arduin's working his magic through the grid. He's going to have Corey Freeman in front of him. Wilson Fernandez got past Casey Bennett. Casey now all over the back end of Jake Johnson. Jake Johnson still has yet to serve his pits. Jake Johnson allowed Casey Bennett through, so Jake Johnson's like, hey, you know, you guys aren't really, I'm not in a race against you. Alex Arduin still working his magic on Freeman. Let's take a look. Where is Alex Arduin? Alex Arduin is already through. So Alex Arduin trying to, he's on the back end of Fulte here. But Fulte's going to have Carter Bennett in front of it, and Carter Bennett has already pitted as a rotation. Farmer is now into the pits. Now, the question is, can Byrne put lap after lap to get... Oh, sorry, Carter Bennett has yet to pit. Carter Bennett going super late in the pits orientation. We're 3 minutes in. Deemer in the chat, spicy. It is super spicy as the drivers are working their way through the grids here. People are going super late. Jashke in the pits. Carter Bennett just keeping his line. Carter Bennett is not doing anything egregious. Fulte trying on the inside as they work their way through here. I don't know why Fulte's flashing. This is still a battle for position. Just because Carter hasn't pitted doesn't mean anything. Here they come through the final chicane. Arduin getting a run on Carter Bennett. Carter dives into the pits. So now that's going to allow Fulte through. Judkins still has yet to pit. They're catching up to Judkins. Judkins is through turn 2, 3, and 4. So now we're starting to see a lot of the final end of the drivers into the pits. Byrne still has yet to pit. You know, honestly, it's just confusing now for me. As we see, Aiden Hasselbrock, one of the later drivers, he has pitted. He's going to have Freeman in front of him. He's going to try the outside possibly. Is Freeman going to let him slip through here? Jaden Munoz on the back end. Aiden Hasselbrock trying to figure something out with this Bentley, with this traffic here that has still yet to pit as they're going super late. I know it's a little bit of annoying for the drivers that have pitted and haven't, but hey, you know, these drivers are trying strategies themselves. They don't have to immediately move. Andrew J.S. he gets leapfrogged a little bit. Byrne is in the pits. As we see LaRock and Alan Zhu still going super late on their pit rotation. Through the Schumacher S, says Aiden Hasselbrock, having to check up a little bit with Mr. Freeman in front of him. So they work their way through. Arduin now 4/10 back from Fulte. Here they come. Fulte 2.7 off the pace of Farm. Only losing a little bit because of the early pit rotation. Arduin tries the outside, coming into the final chicane. Fulte covers over. Ooh. Oh, catches a little bit of the dirt on the final chicane. Fulte having to try to figure out the line to make it work. The BMW of Fulte is just a little bit all over the base. Carter Bennett serving his pit rotation, falling down the grid order. Backed by Dad in P18. 19 around there. So Byrne coming out of the pits. Byrne losing a little bit of time here, but still on the back end of our doing here as he comes out of it. So that's good. Judkins is in the pits. There we have it through the final couple corners. Alan Zhu in the pits. Freeman in the pits. Is LaRock going to dive into the pits? Let's take a look. Do we have anything else? Yeah, we do. We have Randall and Andre Lloyd here coming into turn one. Randall trying an outside move on Lloyd. Lloyd covering it. Getting a beautiful run into turns 2 and 3 as they work their way through here. Ooh, Randall getting some damage on the left side of his car. Freeman and Zhu are coming out of the pit. So who is the big movers here? So let's see. We got LaCroix, who is LaRock, who is still has yet to pit up there at P7, going for the super long strategy. He will have 12 minutes remaining to see how far he can push this pit strategy of his. Cagnus in the chat. Here are the boys. Good morning. Good morning to you, sir, out in Poland. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope all is well out there, sir. I hope you are doing well. As we see Randall, this P11 battle position is just growing. Oh, I don't know why I'm yawning. I slept all day after work. As he's still trying to figure out, these Porsches are looking super racy. I thought there would be a little bit of an issue, but this track is getting cold. We are at 6:28 p.m. in game, and it is now 23 degrees Celsius. The track is dropping in temperature. We started at 26, 27, and it is just getting further. Wilson Fernandez on that early pit strategy has fallen him back. So I'm guessing the early pit strategy was not the smart one, unless, depending on where you came out in track, Lloyd catching dirt, Randall trying to get the slipstream of the Porsche. Is it a shame that the Porsche drivers, because they already have bad aero, if they try to get a slipstream from themselves like another Porsche, it just makes it worse? You know, like maybe it's like a double negative that doesn't make a positive. You know what I'm saying? Like it just makes more negatives. As we see Randall trying to still make it work. Let's follow down the grid order and see what we've got here. Josh Kimmel gets past. Ooh, Wilson Fernandez on Christopher Shuffler. Where is Wilson Fernandez? Here we go on the outside. Shuffler on the inside. Wilson Fernandez turns in a little bit. Is Shuffler going to get the better run on Wilson Fernandez? He looks like he shoots forward a little bit, and that's going to make Wilson Fernandez rethink his strategy as he's having a lot of issues with all these Porsches in front of him. It's just a Porsche theme this season as these Porsche drivers are trying to save their car as much as possible. As Chet Cagnus is in the back, just finished a really hard race at the Red Bull Ring. Well, I hope you did well at the Red Bull Ring, Mr. Cagnus. I hope you did very, very well in your Formula One race. As we see, let's take a look. Shuffler, back end, Wilson Fernandez in the Mercedes. He's trying to regroup and regain his momentum as he's coming through the grid here. Looks like Folty's only brought the attention to Farmer about 2.3. Alex Arduin 1.3, Byrne 1.5. So looks like we're starting to solidify ourselves in the front runners. But the overall fastest lap is going to Folty with a 154.677, everybody. And the closest driver to get to it is Mr. Farmer with a 154.712, followed by Mr. Alex Arduin with 154.807. So the drivers in the front of the grid are setting roughly about average time. Here comes Wilson Fernandez. Does he send it on the inside? Shuffler taking a look on the outside, tries to cover over, but Wilson Fernandez with the heavy late braking makes it stick. Now Shuffler's going to put the pressure on the Mercedes here in the closing minutes of this race. Everybody has pitted. The grid is kind of sorting themselves out, and everybody is in a massive battle. Wilson Fernandez going super wide. Now Bruce Hopkins trying to wheel in Wilson Fernandez. And Cagnes says in the chat, oh, you know, just a track that doesn't belong to my favorites. But P3 has only won with the 2-stop with a good result. What an amazing result in the P3 finish. Congratulations to you, sir, for your P3 finish. Love the Red Bull ring. That and Interlagos are my favorite. Trash Panda says, LaRock P17, someone sabotaged him. He did have, but Deleted Fox, remember, in the beginning of the race, LaRock did have a drive-through penalty, which shuffled him back to the back of the grid, and he had to work his way back up. And in Deleted Fox says, I want the names of all the pre-race mechanics now. I thought you worked on his team, Fox. I thought you worked on his team. That's why he had such a bad showing right now. But we're going to jump along board. Andre Lloyd trying to figure it out with the Mr. Randall himself. And Jake Johnson looking to not get into the way of these drivers as he separates himself. Fulte now 2.6. Are doing 1 second, so we're going to run down the grid order. Deleted Fox in the chat, sabotage. I mean, that's a very possibility. I mean, ACC does its own little thing here in this race, but here we have Farmer sitting there, P1. Your pole sitter has been able to command a race with a separation of about 2.2 seconds. Fulte sitting there, P2 in that BMW. Alex are doing P3. Matt Bird, P4. If the race finishes the way it is, Mr. Alex Arduin will be your championship leader here in Season 5. Aiden Hasbrock, P5, trying to catch Alex Arduin. He has been sitting there in that P5 spot and hasn't really moved up. Jaden Munoz sitting there, P6. Derek Doppler moving up the grid into the P7 spot. Andrew Jaschke, P8. Good result for him. Christian Judkins, I apologize. Not Christopher, Christian Judkins sitting there, P9. Michael Randall, P10. Andre Lloyd, P11. Wilson Fernandez, P12. Fell back a little bit with that early pit strategy, and traffic just got into his way. We'll see Christopher Shuffler, P13. And we see Bruce Hopkins, P14. Let's see, Casey Bennett, definitely not the result he wanted. He's sitting all the way back into P15. If he holds it through, he will get a point. His son, Carter Bennett, up into P16. LaRock with the very old, long pit strategy here into P17. So we've only lost 3 drivers so far. Jared Ado, Mr. Bailey himself, Sean New, what a shame there. Andy Ollie, 4, and Christopher Chestnut, Mr. Panda himself, but we will be seeing him next season. So that's definitely going to be a fun one, to say the least. Let's take a look. Any close battles we have? Seems like everybody is falling down. Like, I won't say falling down the grid order, just, the cycle per se. Let's take a look. Alan Zhu in the Euro Yeet. Porsche onto the front straight. Definitely looking super racy. Super to happy to have him here. Ugh, I can't talk. And let's see, Corey Freeman looking super racy in P9. Josh Kimball holding it in with a broken back and a rib. He is sitting P20. What a wonderful result by him. Kevin Tarrant's P21 in the Lambo. About to get swallowed up by the Bentley of Aiden Hasselbrock's James Parks. What such a gentleman driver here, James Parks, as he works his way through the grid. Brian Kratz, the driver who autocrosses his Ford Focus RS P13, P23. Jake Johnson, P24. this is definitely the race has been going super amazing here for everybody. I have to say, drivers are sticking in and pushing through. Truly an honor to have everybody here racing with us as we see Arduin now less than a second on Burn. Arduin trying to get a P2 to block out the 1-2 on the Porsche side, but it doesn't seem like Fult's been able to match and pull away a little bit. Which we have less than 4 minutes to go before the pit window closes, but everybody has served their pit. Ooh, we do have a battle developing, ladies and gentlemen. We have got Casey Bennett on the back end of Bruce Hopkins on the front straight. Can the Porsche get the reel with the Aston in front? Casey Bennett's going to take a look. He's going to send it up onto turn one. That super late braking of Casey Bennett. And those new fresh tires are going to have to work out and help him out here in this battle as he works his way through in that Rick and Morty Porsche. And for those that do not know, the Porsche of the Rick and Morty Casey Bennett, let's take a look here and see. Let's take a look in the camera view because this one is very interesting because you'll get to see it. We'll jump into, ooh, Hopkins loses a little bit onto the dirt. Let's take a look in the chase cam. You can see Rick is flipping you off there. What a wonderful design, and that is done by one of our drivers in the league, Mr. Alan Zhu himself, ladies and gentlemen. And speaking of the devil, we also have Corey Freeman on the back end of Alan Zhu. And around the outside, Freeman taking the very wide line out of that corner there as Alan Zhu is trying to recover. And we see Josh Kimball now chasing down Alan Zhu in the battle here as well. So Alan Zhu not really having the pace that he really wishes he could have. But Josh Kimball in the Lexus now chasing down Alan Zhu here down into the hairpin. The best part about night in these races, ladies and gentlemen, are the fireballs that come with it. Here we go through catching a little bit of the dirt. The Lexus managing to, I think this is showing that I think Josh Kimball wants to do a little bit of dirt rally after this because he's utilizing all the dirt possible. It's Arduin now 7/10 back from Fulte. We may be moving up there, but Casey Bennett 2/10 back behind Hopkins. I apologize. Making his move on the Aston Martin driver as they work their way through the grid, trying to keep up with everybody. Let's take a look. Who else is in a battle? As we see the one for Jake Johnson and Bruce Hopkins. I apologize. That is not a battle for position. As they go through, let's take a look. Where's Arduin in this? They are on the front straight. So 2, 3, and 4 are freight training themselves down the back straight with 10 minutes left to go. I just want to say huge shout out to all you guys for sticking along and watching this race as everything is starting to develop even more. Also want to know how's everybody loving the race here? Any cars that anybody wants to see as we watch the race develop here around the track? Hopkins 5/10 back from Casey Bennett. Burns still trying to reel in Arduin. Interesting one to say the least. We've got 13 viewers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As we see Burn and Arduin. They've been it's been like 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. The pit window is closed, everybody. As we see LaRock. LaRock is in P17. He's working his way through the grid. Ooh, Josh Kimball. Ooh, Alan Zhu going super wide. Oh, was that a hit? There's damage on the right side of the Lexus. Alan Zhu. Ooh, let's take a look. We're going to jump back 30 seconds. Here they go side by side. Kimball's going to get Zhu. Zhu's through the Schumacher S's. Is going to try it. Kimball catches the dirt. Let's take a look on the replay. Alan Zhu takes a look. He's going to try it on the inside. He's going to send it. Makes it stick. Locks up the brakes. Ooh, and just overshoots. Oh. He tried it so much, and then he just is going to have to let the front of the pack through the grid order there. What a shame there for Alan Zhu. Had an amazing chance to keep that position. Just locks up the front a little bit. Now Byrne are doing nose to tail with the final minutes of 8 minutes left to go. Arduin trying to separate himself. Byrne trying to get that P3 to hope of moving up the grid. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. Let's take a look. Now, if Byrne finishes P3, where would that sit him in the championship standings so far? Let's take a look at the overall standings. Let's go down the grid. Where is overall standings? Byrne 5/10. See Arduin. Josh Kimball's right there. Josh Kimball's is going to try to have to work his magic to let everybody through. Here comes Byrne down into the hairpin. Kimball. Byrne was not able to make it, so Arduin will definitely win the championship here. Does not look like Aiden Hasbrock is going to chase him. So I can call it now that Alex Arduin is your Season 5 championship winner in this race. But the overall, of course, of what is going on, the spread of the championship, the drivers in the back, nobody knows what's going to happen. So right now, Matt Byrne is sitting P7 with 49 points. P3 would bump him up. I'm thinking it was, I don't remember how we do our points. I know it's kind of sad as the league owner. Byrne should move up a significant amount of possibly sitting into the P4 or the P5 of the overall championship series here in this race, with this race here. So we're going to see a lot of big movers in the series. We will definitely be doing a podcast for the end of the championship series to talk about how everybody was doing in the league and to talk to everybody as a whole. Arduin now 6/10 on Fulte. He is definitely still putting the pressure on Fulte as this battle develops and grows. So huge shout out to everybody being a part of this race and this series. Take a look. Soup, nice slide by Arduin to hold it in there. He's going to put the pressure now on Fulte as they caught up. Now they're going to have a back marker to deal with as they catch up here in this race. And that looks to be... Who is that? That's possibly going to be Freeman. That's going to be Freeman in front of him. Freeman's going to allow Fulte through here in this grid. Freeman checks up right behind him. Arduin through the Schumacher S's. Freeman catching a little bit of... Oh, Arduin... Ooh, that was the one thing that we were worried about. Oh, that's going to allow Byrne through. Oh, Arduin's falling back. I apologize. On that, Freeman now leaving the space open. Now here comes Kimball. Kimball and Freeman. This battle is growing. Oh, this is going to be a spicy one. The Lexus of Kimball. Can he slice and dice and make the move? This is one of his favorite tracks. Oh, Freeman lets him through. Oh. Something must be wrong. I think Freeman's tires are possibly shot because he is just having a tough time today. HOP Motorsports is really enjoying the race, getting into ACC myself. I have a long way to go. You know what? The best place to join are the leagues where it's very community oriented. Not to toot the own horn of the GTMR, but you are more than welcome to join and you know, join in with us if you would like. HOP, we are very helpful. We've got a lot of different practice day sessions as well as a practice race on Wednesday for drivers that are new to get used to racing with us. So if you'd like to join, come on in and join us as well. Chocolate Slayer, saw you in the Discord. Super happy to have you here. as the league is developing and growing. So right now, the big races that we're going to have in this series right now, as we take a look, we're going to have Doppler. He is 9/10 on Munoz. Doppler was one of the last pit, one of the last few people to pit. He is reeling in Jaden Munoz as we speak. So right now, is this coming back to haunt Jaden with this tire strategy? Remember, Jaden was one of the first front runners to dive into the pits. He did this at Zandvoort, and the last 10 minutes was crucial for him. He didn't have the tires to keep up in the race. So this is definitely going to be something interesting. The Porsches are all very squirrely so far, as we see Arduin and Hasselbrock sitting there 4 and 5. Fulte now has lost the pace to Farmer to about 4.2, so Farmer is definitely going to be having a massive separation. But here comes the battle of Doppler and Munoz, nose to tail through their thing. Ooh, he takes a look. Ooh, the super late break of the Porsche is amazing. But since the BOP, the car cannot rely that much on its downforce, so you have to refigure everything out. I am waiting, as a streamer, as the commentator for this league, I really want to see someone just misjudge turning into that final corner and just cream the railing. I think that would be the greatest thing ever. I think that would just be hilarious. I would just die just because it'd be like, and he's going to try it on the inside, and then bam, the railing. Just the railing's just like, you shall not pass. Do a little bit of the Lord of the Rings moment there. But enough of me having fun. The fun that we're having is Doppler taking the battle to Jaden Munoz here in Sector 1. Munoz has been able to showcase a lot of strong performances in that Audi here as he works his way through the grid. Down into the, Doppler's going to have to try to set something up to make it work here and around the bend. Ooh, shuts the door. Doppler switches back. Jaden Munoz is once the inside onto this hairpin. He didn't want to give it to Doppler. Super late on the brakings. Can Doppler get the switch back? Will Jaden leave the door open? He doesn't. So now here comes the Schumacher S. Can he put enough pressure on Munoz to make something happen here? Ooh, you can see the readjust there as he entered in. He wanted to take the line a little bit tight, realized he was too tight, having to back out of it. Ooh, Jaden Munoz messes up the line. The car's getting a little squirrely. Here comes Doppler on the downhill. Doppler looking in. Munoz covers. Inside out. Munoz is just trying everything possible he can in this race. Onto the main straight they go. They're going to have traffic. 188. That's going to be Alan Zhu in front of him. 45 seconds left of the race. So they are going to have, depending on when Farmer crossed the line in front of him, this is probably going to be the final race for them in this race. This is going to be the final lap. Ooh, can Doppler make it stick? Does not look like he can. He dropped back, lost a little bit of time. Jaden Munoz is now going to catch Alan Zhu. Alan Zhu is going to leave the door open for Jaden Munoz. Alan Zhu is going to check the brakes, allow Doppler through. That's not what Jaden wants, but that is definitely what Doppler wants. This is going to be the final battle of the race. Your leader is working his way on the downhill, coming up to the chicane. LS2 GTO 2006. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. As Doppler is working his grid. Ooh, he catches. Oh, look how close they get. So much to that dirt zone right there as they work their way through. The leader of the race coming through. He's going to be reaching the final corner. We're going to quickly switch over to him as he's about to cross the line, getting a little squirrely. There is your race winner, Mr. Farmer himself, and here comes Doppler on the back end. LaRock is finished. Carter Bennett has finished the race. As they come through here, Fulte is finished. Byrne is finished. Arduin is finished. Ooh, here they come through the final quarter. Can Doppler get him? Gets a run, but is it enough on the Audi? It is not. Munoz is done. Doppler's done. Jaschke through the final chicane. Jaschke crosses the line to finish P8. Judkins coming through. Oh, we do have a battle. Apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Shuffler. Lloyd up to the final chicane. DR freight training. See what they can do. Will Shuffler send it? Lloyd goes wide, catches curb. Here comes Shuffler. Oh, he catches curb too. Sends him out wide into the dirt. Oh, what a shame for Shuffler there in that race. Caught the dirt, sent him wide. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Randall, P10. Wilson Fernandez, P11. Lloyd, let's take a look. Where is Casey Bennett? Casey Bennett is going to cross the line. P14. Bruce Hopkins in the P15. Katz has finished it. Who do we have left? I believe it is Jake Johnson as he's coming through here. He's coming up to the final chicane here into the last turn and around the bend. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The race is over. The end of our season. Taylor Farmer bringing it home in P1. Fulte P2. Matt Byrne P3. Alex Arduin and locking up the championship. Alex Arduin P4, the number 151 driver. Aiden Hasbrock P5. Jaden Munoz P6. Doppler 7. Jaschke 8. Judkins 9. Randall 10th. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. What an amazing, amazing race we've had all season. It is truly an honor to have everybody here. Truly thank you to all the viewers watching this race, watching throughout the season as everything is developed. It is truly going to be an amazing season 6 coming up. For those that are new and that do not know, I'm going to fill you in. The first week of March 4th, I believe, if I'm correct, March 4th or 5th, we are going to be starting up a GT4 Enduro Championship. The drivers have been asking for it. The viewers have been wanting it. So we are going to be giving it to everybody. You guys will be getting a endurance event. Then 2 weeks following that, we will be jumping into a we will be jumping into season 6, and then 2 weeks at the end of it, I believe it's going to be January, March, May. Yeah, so May 2 weeks after May 5th, which should be the end of the season of season 6, we will be jumping into a 6-hour endurance event. 6-hour championship endurance event at Spa, which will be separate from the actual league championship series. So you guys asked for it, you guys wanted it, you guys are getting endurance events, and we are also starting up a GT4 championship. So the viewers that are watching and you would like to join in and participate, please join us, because Tuesdays we will be having GT4 only championship series, and then Fridays, of course, we'll be doing our GT3 championship series. But with that, we'll also be doing we will having 2 endurance events, and it is just, the league is growing, and it is all thanks to the drivers and everybody that has been a part of the league. I honestly say this, and I stick true to this. It is, the league is what it is because of the people who race and who are a part of it, and it is a strong community. Definitely check us out on Instagram, GT Meister Racing, where you'll be able to keep up with all the different information with not only with our community but as well as the league itself. honestly, it's truly an honor to be a part and run a league for everybody here. Um, you guys, like, they make everything happen, and so do you guys, the viewers. Um, and with that, I honestly have to say what a wonderful season we had, and I want to wish all of you guys a wonderful weekend. And we will definitely keep everybody posted as well through it, and we will also be seeing possibly practice races going on through the series, through the break week. So we'll definitely keep you guys all wanting that as well as showcase that. So you guys have a wonderful weekend as well. And I'm going to be signing off for the end of season 5. Thank you again, everybody. Take care.